So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about starting the year strong. This talks about that board we saw out in the front office. And that's the marketing/business plan that we're going to talk about. And like you heard throughout the whole week, you got to have a plan. You got to execute the plan. You got to be bold and be confident. All right, so in 2013, you can see that I had 2 trucks. I was driving the 3rd truck. I had my first office girl, and then this was actually me right here standing because I had 2 territory managers at that time, where I brought one of my technicians, which was Tim Holofield. He wanted to do sales. He was my first territory manager that came over, but some of my guys didn't show up, so we had to spread out the guys there so we would fill the spots, right? So, but this is 2013. I want to show you that because, look, you're looking. I'll show you in a minute. All right, but you got to be intense and intentional. So for us, it's gearing up our marketing plan. We plan out when our marketing goes out. So you saw on that board that we mark out when our burst of marketing goes out, what we're doing each month. We put all those in there. But what marketing are you going to be doing this year? So give me some examples. What are you going to be doing?
Flyers, clip flyers.
Clip flyers all day long, right? A little bit of EDDM. Yeah.
So you said most of the time July is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that month or 2 beforehand, you're really hard pushing.
Yes. Yep. That's where you put out your burst of flyers so you're getting those apples that are slowly falling from the tree, right? So that's what you want to do. But you got to focus in tighter. You don't need to be going an hour away. Focus in tighter, start your shop, and spiral out. Use the year before to mark out when your busy and slow seasons are. You need to, if you've been in business for 3 years, look at those previous years when you were busy, when you were slow. Go back and see what you can do. If you're putting it in the calendar book, how many jobs did you have on for that week, right? So have a marketing system. So like you saw, this is a system. It's how we execute our marketing, how it goes out, how the territory managers stay out in the field. It keeps them busy doing stuff, right? But your marketing system needs to have a system that is replicatable. A system that you can track. You have to track the leads. You have to track how many pieces are going out, right? So we sign out each bag of flyer that's going out. You have to replicate your efforts. An accountability aspect. The GPS in the sales vehicles. Again, accountability. Boots on the ground approach. I love the boots on the ground approach, Yes, Facebook works. Yes, EDDM works. Yes, those internet things work, but they're hard to track and they don't really drive the results like your guerrilla marketing, your flyers, your EDDM.
Have you found like any type of, I know you have your numbers, you say like for every 100 clip flyers you put out, you get 1 job back or something like that. Do you find that to be the case across the board, even with the value of the home? Like, are the people in the $2 million home responding as readily to clip flyers as people in the $500,000 home?
Yes. Yep. Some people are like, yeah, this is tacky, they're not going to respond. They do. I throw them, if it's a $1 million home and they have a gate, I'm chucking that flyer, it's going underneath the gate and it's landing on the driveway and I'm getting that call. Yeah, so you make it work. It's that guerrilla market. They pick it up at the end of the driveway. They're like, roof cleaning. Then they look at their mansion and they're like, oh, shoot, I need to get my roof cleaned, And then it gets in the door. So this was one that I did for a client. I flew out to St. Louis and we built out the marketing plan. I did this on the styrofoam board that you can get from, Walmart or what's that one right here? Hobby Lobby, yeah. So you get it from Hobby Lobby. I did 2 or 3 sections here. And what I did was I printed out calendars. Go on Google and print out the calendars, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, throughout there. Then I had ribbon. So I basically got colored index cards. I printed out on my computer just my calendars. I got ribbon and I got yarn. So I built out my $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100,000 across the top, and then I use yarn to go all the way across. So you can make this fun, Put that stuff up. That is your dream board. Get everything out of your head and make goals. Get your dream and put it out there so everybody on your team can see. And when you're hiring, they're like, dude, That is amazing. I want to be a part of this, right? So then I put my niches, my residential, this is the apartment complex, TPO roofs, hospitality, and then hospitals. So we have hotels, hospitals, and we did a little smaller one because he was finishing up the year. So that was finishing up the year, what our goal was and what we needed to do. So build your marketing business plan. So guys, do this when you get back. Build this out. Go to Hobby Lobby, get the foam core board, and start pinning stuff up on here. Start dreaming. Then you build out your whole year. Say who in here wants to do $500,000? Lot, exactly, $500,000. So what are you going to do? At the end of my calendar year, I'm going to say $500,000 we need to do this year. Then I'm going to reverse engineer that. What do I need to do per month? What do I need to do per week, per day, right? Then you start hitting those milestones. But build your startup plan. So mark out the year in advance, predict your ups and downs, and how to plan to deal with them. Now you can visually see what your track record is doing, right? Your performa. And then once you see those dips, that's when I'm going to go back 30 to 60 days and I'm going to improve that dip, right? By doing my burst of marketing. So set goals for target markets and plan to reach them. So again, right here, burst of flyering. I put all my green dots or all my good days that I would do in that month. I also put happy anniversary. Anniversaries are here. Third quarter. What's in third quarter? Budgeting. Thank you. Budgeting. Huge. Third quarter. I'm going to start in August, September. August, I'm going to start I'm putting bids in throughout the year, but August to September, I'm relaunching the campaign hard, right? And then they're going to get another proposal and a kick in the pants and say, let's get it in the budget for next year. There are apartment complexes that they never had their building cleaned because it wasn't in the budget. I put it in the budget. Guess who they called in the next year? Like, this has never been in the budget before, but we have your proposal. I don't know how we got it. Shoot. What does it look like? Well, we got $35,000 in there, but can you sharpen your pencil a little bit? You're dang right I can. Let me come out there, right? That's what it's all about. All right, but laying it out. So print out 12 months. You can do 12 months, you can do 6 months, whatever you feel comfortable with, but I like 12 months, man. I want to reverse engineer my whole year. That way everybody knows and I can see it. Highlight holidays and your burst of marketing. So you're going to highlight those things. You're going to put a dollar amount on for each month and each week. When you need to do a marketing push. And then keep looking back on previous years. The more, the better. So the more years you look back, you'll actually really start looking at when your dips are, when it's good, what the season looks like, what the economy looks like, you know what I mean? You'll be able to predict the future. No, I'm just messing with you. All right, but you got to make predictions. So start with holidays and weather patterns. Predict how these may affect how many days you can work. Back up from each slow period. So again, back to school. You're going to slow down a little bit back to school, right? Nobody's thinking about cleaning. They're like, got to get the kids back to school. So they're buying school utensils, the books. Now you got to spend like $500 on books and everything, right? So you got to plan to deal with those, Get your roof cleaning and you get 3 binders for free. Get them kids back to school. You don't want the kids in the house, They're like, when they go back to school, they love it, right? Because then the parents can go hang out. It's quiet in the house again, Market to these things. So now you know what your market looks like. Now your advertising is going to swing towards that, right? Now you got some marketing ideas. All right, so there it is. Boom, my burst of flyering. So that's when I'm going to do it. So here's when we launched the North Carolina branch. So this was our office. We have our bins going all the way back there. I have my banner. I did 6 months on this one. I wanted to be really hyper-focused, and 6 months was like some really extravagant goals. So I printed out 6 months. We had bins for 30,000 flyers laid out, and we were getting them made. I had a guy that I hired from Charlotte. I got to look him up for you, Sean. This guy was a genius. He would sit at this table, and he would have the clips. He would have them all pinned out and everything, flipped. He would have his flyers, and he would do 2 at a time. The guy was making $30 an hour putting together flyers. He was a beast. I have him on video. I had my little camera right here. I was like, I need to get this on video. He was like, I was like, what is going on here? So anyway, but that guy was a beast. But we hired 2 territory managers. So my brother-in-law that was running the branch was doing the sales. He was a little bit of an introvert, though. He didn't like doing the sales. So I was like, we need to get a territory manager. Look, if we're not good at something, you want to hire somebody better than you, right? That's how you build the A-team. You know, Jesus had the 12 disciples. You're building this team, right? So you got to do that. All right, so set your niche market. So we talked about this as kind of a little refresher, but you want to set your niche market. So again, this was way back when. I was like, I need to do $90,000 in apartment complexes. You think I do $90,000 in apartment complexes? About a month, yeah, exactly, that's right. But I wanted to do it that year, so we don't know what we don't know, right? Until we start doing it, there's like, man, I'm kind of laughing at myself. Yes, sir.
Do you hire your territory manager before the technician at the same time?
It's up to you. Like Ben was going to hire his territory manager before he hired his technician, but it didn't work out that way. He has his technicians now, but you can do that. Because again, you have to, the sales is the engine to the beast, right? So you got to drag that cart. So you can hire a territory manager. If you're not good at sales, get somebody that is, right? And then you can start training if you're on a truck. Because right now, it's like, all right, I'm a one-man show right now, right? But I got a couple guys helping me out. Hire a territory manager. You got to have the sales flowing. Or else you're going to do this, the owner-operator rut. I'm out selling. Next week is booked up. We're ready to go. And then you're on the truck working on it. And then it's like the next week is like crickets. You got to keep that flow going. So in this, you got to look at profitability. How much work is in your area? So as you're making those 4 niches, right, this is what we're looking at now. How confident are you in doing that service? How easy is it? Like hood cleaning, employee training. Hood cleaning's hard. You work at night. You get nasty dirty. It's hard to train people. The liability is higher. I don't want to do hood cleaning. Right? But again, there's people that do hood cleaning, right? Because they're going to do something that somebody else isn't doing. It's like the trash guy. Nobody wants to take out trash. They make good money. People do it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to look at what's easy to train my guys, what's replicatable, what's most profitable and easy to do, and I don't have to jump into a bunch of different services and have a bunch of different equipment that's like, okay, we're doing the paver sealing today. Let's get in the paver sealing truck. Then I'm doing soft wash today. I'm jumping in the soft wash truck. Don't do that. You want it to all be scalable and easy, and that's why I buy soft wash system skids. Why? Because it's the same. It's the McDonald's thing. It's still going to be that 2-pickle crappy cheeseburger every time, but we know what we're going to get. So with my territory managers, I'm like, look, we got to be singing the same note. The customers need to know they're getting the same result every time. That way when they say, well, they did a great job on my house, you refer the neighbor and they're like, these guys suck. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I'm sorry I referred them. No, it's got to be the same thing every time. With Audrey from the office, you heard Larry say yesterday, I'd put that on her. I don't want to talk to Larry and do the schedule and all that stuff. That's her job. Larry's like, hey, when we get it on again, talk to Audrey. You know what I mean? I got to build this company. I don't need to be stuck in the minutia of everything. Put those people in place so they're doing the day-to-day stuff, right? And then you're working and building the company. Think like a CEO.